It's me and my girlfriend.
Hello, everyone. It's me, I am sitting here with Donovan. His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid.
Not at all.
And this is the first edition of Don't Believe the Hype on this gloomy, cool Tuesday, May 7th. Which is also a pivotal day. Not really here. May 7th is just May 7th here. But it's actually May 8th. They're getting ready to be May 8th in South Africa, where they're going to be having their elections. And so we're going to be covering that.
Right now. Mm-hmm. It's going on right now.
So we're going to be covering that, not today, but the results. Yeah, and see what's actually going to happen with that. And so let's stay tuned for that. But on Don't Believe the Hype, we ask you to go beneath the surface of the things that you've heard and you've seen to make sure that it's true for yourself. So that way you don't get duped, right? And so on here, we try to provide as much facts as possible, some opinion, well, maybe a lot of opinion and some facts. You decide. And so we just like to bring you, different things that are trending and headlining. And so one of the stories that we're going to be talking about today is that of Kim K. I don't know if we've ever really covered Kim Kardashian as a subject. Not as a
subject, but we've talked to her in passing.
Mm-hmm. And so I just want to say that I was never a fan of Kim Kardashian, although I didn't hate her. You're a fan of somebody, you really like him and stuff. I've only, in the past, and maybe it's, due to what she's shown us, I've only known Kim Kardashian to be
a black man lover.
Well, I guess. And, she's always showing, fashion in her body and makeup and that kind of stuff. And, she's been notorious for some things, like you said, dating a lot of athletes and things like that. And, of course, the infamous Ray J tape that some people will argue put her in the spotlight. It also set the rest of her family up for billions of dollars of success.
Yes.
As they say, your mom used to say, use what you got. Whatever.
She did.
So, I'm not going to knock her hustle for that. But I think, as my younger brother always says, along with the fame comes the blame. And I think Kim Kardashian gets a lot of blame and heat for just a whole host of things. Some of it is rightfully so. Some of it is a lot of hate. But today, I was reading my news articles and stuff, and I saw that she is partially responsible for helping to get 17 inmates free from serving a life sentence of a low-level drug offense that they were sentenced to. Now, this thing that she's a part of is called 90 Days of Freedom. It's a campaign that her lawyer by the name of Brittany K. Barnett and a decarceration collective lawyer, I think it's Miangelo Cody, they have this initiative, and she being Kim Kardashian, helped fund the campaign. Obviously, it's pretty expensive to get people out of prison, to do the legal work and the fees and stuff. So she's done that. And it also should be said that Kim Kardashian, I guess she took, I don't want to say heat, but a lot of people heckled her and stuff a couple months back when she said that she wanted to become a lawyer and she was studying to do that. And so a lot of people was like, ha ha, this, that, and the other. You can never do that, this, that, and the other. But people need to remember that her father was a lawyer. Right. Robert Kardashian was a lawyer. And so
on OJ's team,
I think just at some point in time, we have to stop being that person. Being that person that, and she said before that she wants to switch her life over to something more meaningful.
More activism.
Well, she said more meaningful because, obviously the makeup and stuff and, her body and things like that have made her a lot of money, but she wants to transition to something more meaningful, not just to herself, but to other people. And I want to read this quote or this passage that she put on Instagram about what she's done. So she says, for the last year, I have immersed myself in learning about the criminal justice system. I visited prisons, met with formerly incarcerated people, and helped with cases of individual justice, including 2 death penalty cases. I have met with and am very supportive of Governor Newsom. So out here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is our newly elected governor. And his decision to help bring an end to the California death penalty. Gavin Newsom has put a moratorium on the death penalty, meaning that there will be no deaths going forward while he's in office because there's a whole lot of stuff going on. And she continues to say, racial bias and unfairness run deep throughout the justice system, but especially when it comes to the death penalty. And we should not be okay with the risk that an innocent person could be executed. I hope we can turn toward toward, I lost my place. Hold on a second. That's funny. I hope we can turn toward better solutions that focus more on healing victims of trauma and prioritizing fairness and justice. And so I love it. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that she said in the last year she's been doing these things. And that to me gives a new meaning of moving in silence. We have a lot of people who announce everything they do. And so...
Taking a crap.
Right. But she's like, okay, yeah, y'all see what I do, makeup and stuff like that. But I'm actually really doing some things. To me, helping to get 17 people free who were serving life sentences for low-level drug offenses is more than incredible.
That's huge. That
is more than incredible because there's a lot of people who are celebrities. They don't use their newfound status, if you want. I mean newfound, but their status that they have to help others is about me.
Right. Can I ask you something real quick? You just said celebrities that don't use their platform. Mm-hmm. The Beehive has all kinds of things. Now, nothing against Beyonce. I don't know what she's doing in the thing, but unfortunately, I haven't seen her use...
Well, but that's not true because Beyonce she actually is a really huge philanthropist, and that she sends her and her husband have sent a lot of people to college.
No, I understand that. No, what I'm saying is like
Jay-Z for Mother's Day and for Easter he bailed out a lot of people who were incarcerated. I mean, they built housing, so they've done a lot of stuff.
Right.
So,
no, you jumped all over my point, but that's okay.
I ain't even in the Beehive, but you ain't gonna run Beyonce.
Right, exactly. Which is what like I said. Let me say what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Again, you don't see it. I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean they're not moving in silence.
Yeah, well, true, but I see it. But yeah. So anyway.
Jeez.
Yes, right. Watch out, because I'm trying to save you because the Beehive ain't nothing nice. Okay, we don't need to be putting little bees and shit all over our videos.
I just want people to say because everybody always wants to see and something. You don't always have to do that.
And to your point, for those of you guys who follow the teachings of the Bible, the Bible tells you to move in silence, especially when you're helping people who are poor or less fortunate. Exactly. Because what happens is it takes the focus off of that person and focus off of God and puts it on you, and it's like me. Right. See what I'm doing, And so she's disclosed that this is what she has been doing, and it's in 90 days because this program was covered over 90 days. She's helped fund the initiative to get these people free. Now, some of these people are people like Terrence Bird. He had served half of his life doing...
Misty.
His cat's about to go wild. He served half of his life in prison for a low-level drug offense. Now, he went in when he was 29.
God.
So,
kid. Just a kid.
Yeah, and then another one was Jamel Caraway. He was got out after serving 11 years of a life sentence for low-level drug offense. And Eric Balcom, he was serving life. Now, when we say low-level drug offense, we're talking about stuff like being found with some crack cocaine. Low-level, or maybe they were using, or maybe it was some marijuana or something. They weren't like the dime, where they were shipping kilos and stuff nothing like that. These people, and this is kind of where I want to segue into as well, because I don't think I want to rephrase what I'm saying. I think we need to do our due diligence just like we did with Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris. And we also need to continue to take Joe Biden to task, because a lot of these people, if not all of them, were victims, and I call them victims of what Joe Biden did in the 80s and 90s with the initiatives that he had. He had two acts, one in 86, one in 88, that orally sentenced people for like crack cocaine, opposed to cocaine, to life sentences because they were thugs, and these are his words, thugs and this, that, and the other. We're not harsh enough on these people. And so now in 2019, you have somebody like Kim Kardashian West, because she is married to Kanye West. Here she is in 2019 using her fame and resources and stuff to get these same people that were in prison due to an
zealous
person like Joe Biden, who made it his life's mission, it seemed like, in the 80s and 90s, to stick it to these people. And then as I made a video yesterday, and we've talked about too,
Yeah.
Joe Biden, again, he's saying he's sorry, but he's not sorry because it was just, oh my gosh, how horrible of a person am I, or was I?
Actions speak louder than words.
Well, he's sorry because he got bad medical evidence.
Yeah.
That told him that crack cocaine was worse than cocaine. And so he's sorry because of that. But he's not sorry. Just like, so here she is getting these people out for stuff that he did. It's like you're sending people for life. We got people who are raping people, white people, let's keep it real, raping children.
Right.
And they don't go to prison because, they're too rich for prison, or prison would ruin their life, or prison is, I think they should go on another, this, that. And then a lot of times, too, these people don't even get to register as drug offender. They get a slap on the wrist, now don't touch nobody else's baby again, whatever. But you got people who, I'm going to keep tying Joe Biden to this, we're going to prison for drugs, for smoking crack. And he said that in one of his initiatives. Not only does the drug pusher have to go and serve time, but the drug user needs to go as well. And this was aimed solely, and I didn't say black people, but we know that crack was dropped off into the black communities, and it just exploded everywhere. So we know he was talking about black people without him having to say it, because black people disproportionately went to prison for life sentences under the bills that he authored.
Correct. That is very correct.
And I think we need to continue to say he authored it, because a lot of times, like you hear with Bernie Sanders, he says, well, I voted for the bill. Okay, whatever. I voted for the bill because this thing was in the bill that I liked. I wasn't necessarily voting for that part, but I wanted... So it wasn't like that. It was like, okay. Because he challenged George H.W. Bush, the Republican. Like, Republicans are usually the ones that are the tough on crime crowd, and we can let these
big
people
defense spenders.
Yeah, but
tough.
he being Joe Biden, and said, well, George Bush is not tough enough.
Right, because the bill wasn't...
Yeah, it doesn't go far enough. It doesn't do enough to send a message to these thugs that, basically, in a paraphrase
Predators.
at this point, that we're not playing around with them, And what he was really saying, it's like a dog whistle, but sometimes it's not, to fellow white people, I'm going to protect you from these cracking, thugging people walking around.
If you guys saw the video that we put up the other night, basically last night, I guess, yesterday, we put a video at the end of the video where Biden was actually speaking on the Senate chambers. And if you listen to what he said at the very beginning of his thought, he said, it doesn't matter what the circumstantial evidence of the person's situation. Doesn't matter that, my daddy wasn't in the home, or... He
didn't give a damn.
He said it didn't matter to him. He said all that mattered was we need to get them off of the streets.
Right.
And incarcerate them.
And then so... You still have people in there to this day.
To this very day.
To this very day. I couldn't imagine being, in the courtroom, and I'm like, okay, surely they gonna slap me on the wrist. I just got caught with a dime bag.
Right, because my friend Stuart Schwartz, he did the same thing. They let him go a couple days ago, so I know I'm walking.
Right, and then the judge says, you will be remanded to the state penitentiary for life. For your natural life.
I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but it happens.
Yeah, but can you imagine sitting there and you got you like what on the dead president?
Yes,
he says, what did he say?
He said, after all I did for this country?
Right. It's basically like, you shitting me? What did
I had a hard time, right, yeah. You don't have the resources here. I went back to my neighborhood. It's worse than when I left it. I went to serve the country and did all these things. That isn't even considered? And you're going to give me life?
Right. But, and I think, so again, big ups to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Give her,
we're kind of hard on the toes. Some people might, drop and when I say what I'm going to say, but she's made a fan out of me.
Oh, me too.
She's made a fan out of me. I
just want my turn. Waiting for my turn.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, shit.
But no, she's much respect because, she could very easily just do what she's doing. But I love it to me, what I really love about Kim Kardashian is the evolution of Kim Kardashian, because I'm not mad at her for using what she had to get to where she is. But now that she's where she is, she's not staying there. She's evolving to do more humanitarian stuff.
Right, but doesn't that make sense, though? When we're young and we're children, we act like children. But as you grow and you progress and you say, wow, I have all these blessings and I'm up here. All my fellow hoes are into this, and that. Right? No. I mean, she's made a fan out of me, too, because the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
She's putting her money where her mouth is.
Right.
Well, or however she does.
No, she,
you know what I mean?
No,
but,
yeah.
So, I mean, big ups to you because, there's a lot of shows out there that just criticize, and they don't, when somebody's doing good, they don't point that out.
Right. And I personally don't want to be that way because it does make you disingenuous to say I'm going to be informed and then inform other people, but then not inform them of the whole
other story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
Yes,
a lot
Kim.
of us may not be a fan of her, the stuff she's done, but if you ain't a fan of what she's doing, then you're not really for justice and equality.
Right.
Regardless of where it's coming from.
Or bettering society because, again, the proof is in the pudding. Everybody says I'm really hard on Kamala Harris, okay? But there are some things, what did I say? Being a side chick, using what you got to get what you want, got you into politics. Hey, I applaud that. You ain't a dumb hoe. Now, here's my other thing about Kamala. I'll give her all the credit in the world. She put Barr, being a prosecutor, she knew how to ask him the questions and put him on point to where he lied right out and he was
didn't show up the next day.
Right, didn't want to show up the next day. So props up for her. But then again, don't let that be your soundbite, Kamala. Don't let that be your soundbite.
And I agree with you on that one. And to my point about bringing up Kamala, she still would never get my vote, and neither would Joe Biden.
Right.
But we can't take Kamala to task and not take Joe Biden to task because if you ask me, I mean it's bad when you lock up innocent people or people who don't deserve to be locked up, anybody regardless of who it is, but Joe has had a larger effect, a negative effect on black people than Kamala has. I mean, if we're going to go there.
Right, more so. Yeah, on the national level.
Yeah, and so to say, because I've heard people say, Joe is sorry. Why didn't you take him to task when he was with Obama?
Right.
And in my last video, I outlined why we didn't do it. We were just...
And we're going to talk about that in the second hour because they're saying, and you guys stay tuned for this, they are saying right now 48% of black women...
47.
Yeah, support Joe Biden. And we're going to get into that for the second hour. But back to Kim Kardashian. Hey, it doesn't matter where you start the race, it matters where you end the race, and that's what it comes down to.
I really like her. Not to mention too,
she's maturing. Like I said, she's a young woman, and she got caught up in a videotape situation.
Well, I mean, you know what? She turned lemons and lemonade. Goddamn it! You know what I'm saying?
Call me, girl, if it don't work out with Kanye.
She turned lemons into lemonade. Can't really be mad. I'm just not mad. I've never been mad at her for that kind of stuff. I mean, is it something I would do? No, but hell, I mean, whatever works. Well,
why don't you think about this? And everybody out there, just think about this. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter to me. How would you like your freedom being taken for the rest of your life and you didn't do anything, or something that you did now they're talking about making legal?
Yeah, and so I've done roughly 30
years of your life gone.
There is no, and I'm just out. It's not, here's a check.
Right.
Because
and they're not giving you no check. And that black guy, they took 40 years of his life. They said, nah, nigga, you ain't getting nothing. Sorry.
Right. I mean, you got somebody, and last year too.
Yeah, oops.
Kim Kardashian helped free Alice Marie Johnson, the black lady who was a super low level drug offender. She was served a life sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
And she went and talked to Trump, she being Kim Kardashian, talked to Trump, and he pardoned her. So that's another thing too, right? Like, we take Trump to task, and rightfully so. He's a douchebag.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. He is.
He just, we're not going to say he's not. However, at least he is listening to Kim Kardashian and saying, okay, you think she should be free? Sure, I'll go ahead and sign it. So at least he's listening to people like that, because all the people that have gone to the White House, your Steve Harveys and all these other people, maybe they're moving in silence too. I don't know. But as of now, the proof is that Kim Kardashian has been able to use her celebrity to go to the White House and influence Trump to letting out Alice Marie Johnson and a whole host of other people. And so, I mean,
to me, the point is this: the greatest moniker you could get is be known as a peacemaker, which is great. Mm-hmm. Okay. This woman is using her celebrity and her status, and she is giving people back their lives for whatever lives there is. And to me, think about the people who are now in debt. Not that you're indebted to me, but this woman took her time. The lawyer couldn't get me out. This person couldn't get me out. Maxine Waters couldn't get me out. These people that are...
Those people weren't interested.
Barbara Lee, all these people that represent me.
They weren't interested.
Weren't interested. And here this woman is and got me out.
Yeah, they weren't interested. They were interested in, being on the scene, being seen on the scene.
My time.
All of that. But, they say too much is given, much is required. Mm-hmm. And so when you have more, you do more. You help people,
Right.
And to me... Like you said, being a peacemaker, but just knowing that you helped other
somebody,
people.
Right. You affected somebody's life.
It has to make you sleep better at night, knowing that this person is now not going to have to spend the rest of his natural life in prison.
Wrongly imprisoned.
For something that, as you said, racial disparities, as white people don't even go near the damn prison for doing worse.
Right.
So, another thing, too, we need to think about is, especially in regards to somebody like Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden has helped fill the, in prison industrial complex with black bodies due to his acts and laws and all this other stuff.
What is the percentage that an industrial military complex must have to make a profit? Yeah.
Well, if it's privatized, it is said that investors are guaranteed that 90%, the prisons will be occupied to the tune of 90%. Well, one should ask themselves, how do you guarantee something like that? Mm-hmm. Now, we know people commit crimes, but in order for me to, you're an investor, in order for me to guarantee something like that, that means I got to be locking up people for doing stupid stuff. Okay, you came in here because but even, what did he say? Joe Biden said something about jaywalking.
Yeah.
We locking people up and even stuff is like jaywalking. I'm paraphrasing. Mm-hmm. But, so you have all these people in prison because these investors got to be paid.
Right. You got to make a profit.
I got to make a profit.
Yeah. You got to have at least a 90% occupancy rate to turn a profit in a for-profit prison.
So that means filling the prisons with bodies, black bodies.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless of what you've done. I got to, it ain't going, because what is it? In order to go to prison, most of the time you have to do more than a year. Well, I don't want you getting out of the year because then that means I got to get somebody else in there. So I'm going to give you a couple of years.
Or ask yourself this. You're not even, do you know in Rikers Island and a lot of these jails, even right here in Riverside Presley Center, because of the backlog in the prison system, you got people that have not been convicted of any crimes. They're just being held because they can't make bail, and they've been in there for over a year.
That's what happened with Khalid Browder, the black teenager. It was in Rikers Island. And for I want to say 3 years. I could be mistaken, but 3 years before he was even charged or
with the crime.
Went to court, any of that. Right. Finally, they let him out, but due to the horrors and stuff that he went through in there, I think he was 18, 17 or something.
Yeah, when he went in. 17, yeah.
He committed suicide.
Right.
Because, but they just held him in there. So to your point, there is a lot of people in prison or in jail that's just waiting
to be charged.
But because they're just packing these prisons and these jails with people because they got to supply, they got to make their investors happy. Right. And that's why a lot of people argue against the privatization of prisons because it is a profit thing. So if it's a profit, everybody getting screwed. Everybody going, what you say? You talk back to your mama? Yeah, you going for 10 years.
Not everything should be outsourced. Like I said, the trash system in your community, that shouldn't be privatized. That should be something that's the responsibility of the government, the city government, whatever. That's what we pay our taxes for to make sure it's done.
Right.
So, it's like I said, big ups to Kim Kardashian. I'm impressed. Like I said, but with time comes maturity. She has children now, so she's seeing a lot of the disparity that because she has a black children and a son. No, she has daughters, right?
She has 2 sons now.
Oh, 2 sons now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
no,
she gets either they're getting ready to have a baby, a surrogate.
Okay, right.
Or they've had it already.
But my point is, a lot of these racists, when you go down to the South and you go into the Walmart and stuff, you'll see these Confederates down there and the Confederate mom with the mixed black baby in the basket.
Oh my God.
But it goes to show you that when it comes down to it, the browning of America, that maturity, you say, well, I got to look at this from a different lens now. Because this could happen to my child.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it. You know, thinking, I got a black son. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of cases where money doesn't make a difference as to whether you're going to get gaffled up by the man or not. You know, you black. That's all they care about. You know, that you black.
You're at the bottom of the totem pole.
But it would also behoove people to do their research. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is all this. That was this being, you know, black people going to prison disproportionately, especially black men. The homicide, as far as police officers and homicide in our community, all this stuff is by design. Why do you think they dropped crack off in the middle of the day? Where they didn't drop it in Beverly Hills.
Right, exactly.
Let's get rid of these Negroes.
And then when the opioid became a problem, now it's a problem.
Now we got to implement all these programs
and throw all kinds of money at it for treatment.
Well, you know, it's just look at it. It's just this mathematics. White people are, as you alluded to a second ago, the country is starting to brown. Mm-hmm. So we can't, and then fertility wise, you know, it's known that white people aren't as fertile as everyone else for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So you have a fertility issue where they're also saying now that people aren't procreating like they used to.
Right. Especially millennials aren't doing it.
So the last thing they need is for something like drugs to come in and
eradicate.
Yeah.
They already experimented what happened in the black community.
Right. Well, I'm saying all the stuff I just mentioned as far as what white people are going through as far as creating and procreating. We don't need drugs to kill the people who are here.
Right.
We need y'all to stay here.
Stay here.
Because if you go anywhere, I don't care anywhere, you name it. Like I go on this mountain out here for exercise called Mount Rubidoux.
Mount Rubidoux.
And I'm in awe kind of what I see. There's probably 90% Hispanics up there on the mountain. Yeah. And the rest is kind of white here and there. And then there's a few black people.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on. And you'll notice that everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere you go, it is, especially in California, it's like that. And so if I see it, white people see it.
It was funny that you say that because I was out and about getting my new phone. I was at the Sprint store and I went to the mall and stuff. And there's no black people. Just none.
By my house, I don't know if you've seen this. There's a CVS pharmacy. Mm-hmm. And it had to have been in the last couple of months because I haven't been over that way in a while. It says CVS, I don't know, pharmacy, whatever the tagline is.
C'est la vie. No.
Emas,
right.
And more.
Right, yeah.
It's in Spanish.
Yeah, a lot of stores are in Spanish.
And I'm like, it says it's on outside on the wall. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, when did that happen?
Yeah. Well, that's how it was in Sprint, too. I'm walking through the front door of the Sprint store, and you know how it would say, like, enter and close, and now it doesn't even say that. It just says cerrado, and what the other word is for it. And so I'm learning my Spanish as much as I can because I'm in America.
You got to.
So I can understand.
Right.
So I can understand what's going on in the United States.
You just have to. And so the point that I'm making is, this is going to sound jacked up.
Yeah, but
if I'm just saying it from a white point of view, it's beneficial for them to be okay with black people being locked up disproportionately for stuff that they get away with in their sleep. It's beneficial for them to do stuff like a root for stuff like building the wall, which, you know, I have my opinion about that. I won't go into it. But it's beneficial because they need to stay here. It said, in 2030 something?
35.
It's going to be, the United States is going to be predominantly brown.
Yeah, Hispanic mostly, because it ain't black. That's for damn
Well, you know, brown because, like you said, too, there's a lot of mixing going on. And so, you know, right now they're the majority, but it's getting less and less every day.
Well, you know what? I'm going to have to look at those numbers. Polls, please don't listen to the polls and these numbers. They're very skewed, and here's why. If you look at an application, the old application, they used to say, like, Northern Africans are considered white. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you got the Southern Africans are black. So a lot of people are misidentifying themselves because you got Hispanics now that are identifying themselves as white.
Well, because they can. Yeah. And trust me, without saying why.
Right.
I know how I know how that works.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And I've seen it. So the numbers are kind of not really what they're supposed to be, and that, and that's just another.
And if you think about it, on the census, because we've all taken a census or have to answer census questions, it'll say something like, for this, because they'll ask you what you are, and so say if I say I'm Hispanic or I'm Mexican American, then the other part say, well, for the sake of this survey, Hispanic is not a race. And so then they have all the other races that they can choose from. And so they're not going to say they black.
Right.
More than likely, they're not going to say they Asian. So what are they going to say?
Exactly.
And it makes you wonder, is that by design?
Because like you got Latino, and then there's Latino of Spanish, like Spaniards. They're not Latino.
Because technically, if somebody was to come to my door and, ask me questions, well, why? Because I can't assume. Right. Even though I can see who you are, I can't assume. So, okay, what race do you consider yourself to be? Clearly, I'm black. I can say I'm white, or I can say I'm Hispanic. Oh, and I'd have to put it down. And for the sake of this part of the survey, Hispanic is not a race. What are you? Well, shit, I'm white.
Exactly.
And I'm black as midnight, but you can't tell me that I'm not.
Right, exactly. So a lot of those polls are, they're kind of skewed, and and the numbers would be skewed like that because white people want to stay in power, and that's why politically Trump's Department of Labor, whatever that department is, they're trying to ask that question on the census, and
that's a big deal because
it controls dollars.
Well, that's what they say, and part of me believes that's true, but the other part of me knows is more to the story because now, and the debate is the census operates separately from the federal government, even though it is an entity of it. But the census is more or less like we don't want to ask that question because if I'm Hispanic and I'm not supposed to be here per se, you ask me that. Naturally, I'm thinking, okay, if I answer yes or no, am I a citizen? That's the question. Am I a citizen? And I say no. What if the next knock on my door
is ICE busting in?
And with the Trump administration, that's not far-fetched to believe that if I answer honestly, because nobody's going to say, well, go give me your green card. Let me see. The census takers don't have the ability to do that. But if I'm scared, and let's say I do answer, and then, the next thing I might get a knock. So the argument is that's going to cause people not to answer honestly because, to your point, it is supposed to be to allocate certain funds, resources. But if they don't get the right answer, then it's just a waste of time.
Exactly. So big ups to Kim Kardashian. But do you think what she's doing could be expanded and maybe some other stars and entities? Isn't it funny how this one woman, she ain't super rich. She's rich, but she ain't super rich.
Between her and her husband, they're worth $1 billion.
Right. Okay. But that $1 billion ain't nothing anymore. It's like $1 million was in the way back.
Hell, give me half a billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me $1 million.
But what I'm saying is, here's a woman who's not into politics or anything like that. She's doing it on her own. But yet we have. Do you think that congressional black talkers are going to follow this example? This is what we talk about.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why they're not, because we're not insisting that they do those things. We just, child, Auntie Maxine is reclaiming her time. Right. Look at Barbara Lee and that big ass hat, or that Sheila Jackson Lee, and then, all that. We caught up into all that stuff, but we're not really caught up. Which is why I have to remove myself from social media a lot. Because I get tired of seeing people complain. Like I seen a dude on Facebook complaining about Kaepernick. Oh, you haven't seen Kaepernick since he won his money. But it's like, you dumbass, why did he get the money? And why did he get the money in the first place? And
why are you concerned about it?
Right, and what are you doing? This man has sacrificed his whole career. It's got a lot of good years left in the play to kneel for your black ass. And yet and that's what I said. And I asked him, I said, at what point in time do we in the black community stop backbiting each other? And when does enough, I said, even if he never did anything else, isn't what he did enough? Like, you want this man to just give his life blood to you so you can get your ass on Facebook and then tear him down? Then, you know what I'm saying? So the other part is, I kind of want to understand why certain celebrities maybe don't get in the limelight, or they just don't at all, because it's like, these niggas ain't gonna be pleased one way or the other. They gonna find a reason to tear me down. But I was just like, dude. Well,
it's like what I say about black women. Now you know me. I love black women. You know deep down inside, I love black women, but I don't like clowns,
especially per the picture you showed.
Yes, exactly. But I don't like clowns. Right. And I have clowns in my own family. So it ain't like I'm talking about just straight people and I'm better than them. What I'm saying is, when I see a black woman walking around looking like a Morlock, That's a woman that has low self-esteem. And I'm wondering, why do you have low self-esteem? Your hair is beautiful. You are beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. And like you said, sometimes I get frustrated. It's like, you know what? These niggas ain't worth all. But you know what? I can't give up because that's my people.
And I think that's where a lot of people are with it. And sometimes you have to block out the naysayers. You just got to. Yeah, because those people are never going to be happy no matter what you do, what you say, what you give. Right. They're going to always find something to complain about. Mm-hmm. See, I told you, look at that. Look at that, I told you, he wasn't all that.
You know what I found out? And I get frustrated with this show sometimes because you got the people that get the negative comments. You're thinking, look at all the stuff that we're doing, and yet, we're educating people. And, you're coming down on Hey, we're informing you. You can vote. Well, no matter what we say here, at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do.
As you should.
As you should. We're just saying, if you didn't know this information, here's what you need to know. We say it all the time. Don't listen to what we say. Research what we say. We're challenged. We're like Kamala Harris. Check my record. We did.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you can flap your gums all you want to, but what is you doing?
But what are you doing?
What are you actually doing? Are you making a difference? Are you actually helping people? Are you on Facebook or whatever entity you're on complaining about the people who are helping other people? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. And whenever you ask somebody that, it's like, well, see, what I do is, like I had one dude said, well, he put up a picture of his kids talking about, well, I had them and I'm teaching them. I said, just producing kids don't make you doing something. I was all kind of
just because,
bees and hoes.
Right. Producing kids doesn't make you a father. Producing kids doesn't make you a mom. I mean, anybody could drop kids.
Yeah, but I'm like, you on here, I can't remember who he was tearing down. Mm-hmm. But you're on here tearing down people, but yet you can't tell me, where's your initiative? Mm-hmm. Where is your free to this, that, and the other campaign, or to feed the hungry, or you up speaking and imparting knowledge? Or what is you doing besides getting on here trolling?
Right.
And yes, I am saying is on purpose. Mm-hmm. My man would have a problem with me saying is, but it just feels good.
It feels good.
Yes.
Sometimes I go when I have to re-edit the show, and while I'm waiting for the rendering to happen and stuff, I'll go back and I'll look at Dee's particular YouTube channel, and 187 videos or something. We have
a
lot of videos up there, and we're just cranking it. And I'm thinking where we started to where we're ending up and where we're going, and how much influence we've had. Because you have almost 1,000 followers.
Almost, yeah. And again, I just like to say this because a lot of times people try to weigh you, if you will, on how many people you have following you. I mean, 900, it's like 900 something. That's a drop in the bucket compared to what a lot of people have. And I'm not into a comparison game. Obviously, we do this because we like it. We're not making any money from this at all.
And we could.
Yeah, and nor am I looking to do that because I know a lot of people are on something like YouTube for money, for monetary
and the thing is, when you do that, you have to constantly crank out things, and it becomes a job. I don't want that.
And a lot of times you end up producing things that are not quality because you're trying to rush. Yeah. You're trying to,
get it out there.
Yeah, so you can get the most hits. And so, I mean, like, I love doing this. I really do. But I want to be helpful. I want to be informational. I don't want to just be out there speaking. And, you guys will notice, too, that Donovan and I, like that?
I do.
We don't... For the most part, I'll say we don't get on here gossiping and, let me tell you. Because to me, that kind of stuff comes back to you.
It does.
When you're on there tearing people down for money, the checks is good. You're getting a lot of recognition, but after a while, you have to answer for that stuff. And so I've always been one of those people that want to, do quality work.
Right.
Tell somebody something, because that's how I was taught. Teach somebody something they didn't know, even if it's just one person.
Right. And if you guys notice... Dee and I, sometimes we're not even on the same page.
Yeah, we are. We're not even the same book sometimes.
But that's what makes makes the show genuine because because that shows that we don't have an agenda. We're not. I'm not a Kim Kardashian fan. I like to hit it, but I'm not a Kim Kardashian fan. But you see what I'm saying? When you bring stuff like that, and like, yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that. Right. I can roll with that.
Now, I very easily could, because I know a lot of people will do it. That she's still a hoe. She still is that and the other. Well, by the time she easy to see the videos. So I posted that on my wall, and some idiot talking about, but I'll never forget the tape, the Ray J tape. And I'm like, that's what I said. I said, grow up.
Yeah, what does that got to do with you?
Yeah, it's like, grow up, dude. Like, really? This is But those would be one of the same no-temp Negroes that are complaining about the state of black everything.
Right.
But yet here's this woman is using her platform to help primarily black people. But yet you want to drag her in the mud?
Right. Right. She got some black people out, which is... Here you are voting for Aunt Maxine, who ain't doing a damn thing for black people.
But had I got on there and said, look at this hoe. Mm-hmm. Who the hell she think? I bet you she didn't. I bet you she just probably just paid for it. She didn't really do nothing. Oh, my God. I'd have all the comment. You would just hear my phone ding, 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 ding. But now I just got one idiot on there talking about I remember the tape. Right.
Now, and the thing is about having subscribers. That's great you have dedicated subscribers. That's all it is, dedicated subscribers. But... I've seen your 2-minute videos where you've had 14,000 people view the video. You know, and that's what I look at. I look at the views on the video.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm grateful, as I'm sure you're grateful too, you know, but I mean, what else could we be doing? Because we do this, you know, primarily on Tuesdays and Sundays, but what else could we be doing? I ain't been to Venice Beach on a Sunday in a minute. That was me and my daughter's thing. Go to Venice Beach, hang out, you know, go to the drum circle where they got a lot of weed going on, even though we didn't smoke it. But, you know, just to kind of...
I could be going to Vegas on the weekends, Phoenix.
On Tuesday, because I'm busy all week. I could just say today is the day to do nothing.
Right. You know, and, you know, which brings up, like, me and Pastor Don were talking about that. Pastor Don does his show on Tuesdays. He has an anniversary coming up. And he said, hey, I'm not going to be here Tuesday. Because he's going to be out of town.
As he should.
And you know, every now and then you got to take a break and woosah.
You got to. You got to. But the point that you made is, I mean, it's like, we do it. Obviously, because it's fun. I would never do anything I wasn't enjoying.
Well, you know,
I don't care what nobody says.
Here's the honest truth. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is why I honestly do this. Now, you guys know I have a history degree. And I'm really big into the future. You know, what's going to happen in the future. So... Our generation, we're the last generation of the black and white picture that fades and stuff, and everything fades. So a lot of our pictures aren't going to be there. Like, there's very few pictures of my mom when she was a little girl because the aunt stole them and everybody stole them, you know what I mean? So by doing these YouTube channels, when your grandkids see you and stuff, they're not always going to see grandma when she's old and gray. They're going to see her, you know, in your prime.
Like, that ain't my grandma.
Right. No, but you know what I mean? You know, later on down the road, you're going to, you know, they could see you.
Hey, listen, I'm always going to look like this.
Yes, yeah. But,
no, I'm just kidding.
But when the time comes off and you leave this planet, your grandkids can look back and say, wow, look what she's talking about. Wow, she was really, you know.
And to that point, because my nieces, I have a younger set of nieces and nephews, and they looking, they're like, is that you, Tia? They call me Tia. Is that you? Yes, that's me.
Yeah, on TV. But, you know, but it also shows, you know, because I'm big into the future. It shows your thought pattern, the way you dress, your style, what you would say, how you would think. You know, it's like when I think of my grandmother, I think about, you know, when she was walking and stuff like that, but it's very limited what I can think about. I really couldn't tell you her mindset. Was she woke? Was she...
Right.
You know.
Yeah, like you said, I get what you're saying. Those things are fleeting.
Yeah. Right. So now the kids can see them, and then generational pass,
that
and the next generation.
Technology.
It'll just keep going, and we're going to live forever. And it's out there. Hours
well,
of
that makes it all worth it, then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you see the video, especially in these videos, where you got baby boy, he's choking out, we're putting all this knowledge, and y'all still out here cooning.
Right.
You know, come on now. Come on. And then that's the thing. Are we still going to be talking about the things that we're talking about 40, 50 years from now after we're gone? Are we still going to be with these ales?
I'm going to be here 50 years. But no, hopefully we've evolved to actually being more action-oriented.
Right.
You know?
Right. But see, here's the thing. Here's the blueprint. Okay, real quick, we got a minute left. I sent you a thing with Tupac talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And look how woke he was.
Oh, yeah.
Way back then.
And he's gone. He was 25.
Right.
Yes.
And he's gone now. But what he's still talking about is still prevalent very much today.
I mean, it's crazy. So hopefully we move past just the talking. Not that Tupac was just a talker, but...
Yeah, but I look at this as like a time tube. That'll keep us going. And
Absolutely.
I want, you know, all my kids and grandkids to say, oh, there's my grandfather. Yeah, there he is right there, you know?
Right.
He was looking pretty good, you know? Doing his thing, you know? So... But in the second hour, you guys stand by because this is connected. We are going to talk about Mr. Joe Biden, and they're saying that 47% of black women support Joe Biden.
Let me get my Wheaties and my boxing gloves.
And we want to know why. But what did I always say? Black women love to be mentally masturbated.
And black men love to be physically.
Yes, absolutely. Without a doubt. So you guys stay on it. We're going to be back in the second hour, and you guys are going to hear what we got to say all about it.
Oh no, you won't see that. And no, I ain't perfect. Nobody walking this earth surface.